Gujarat Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Grow business. Transform Gujarat.
Hi Tina, first of all, welcome to Ahmedabad.
Hi everyone, thank you for having me. It's such an honor and I absolutely love Ahmedabad, guys.
No, thank you so much for joining us. And as we just found out that you have your roots in Ahmedabad, like you mentioned that your husband is Gujarati. So is this your first time in Ahmedabad?
It's not my first time.
Okay.
And he's very much at home every time he comes here. He loves it. So my husband's Gujarati. I married a Gujarati.
Lovely. So you've been one of the prominent social media figures, and the image code has reached an audience, that caters to people all over the country and probably an international audience as well. So what inspired you to become an influencer? And could you tell us a little bit about your journey, how it all started?
Of course. So this is 9 years ago. It's not like this industry existed. Instagram existed, Facebook existed, but I was like every other student. I'd completed my engineering. I went abroad to do my master's. I did a master's in a very specialized space. I did a luxury marketing and management master's from France, ended up working behind the scenes with a lot of luxury brands. A lot of people do these courses today. And when I came back home, I realized that there aren't enough people talking about luxury. Like there were publications, there was Vogue, there was Elle doing a little bit, but the digital space, which had really hit the West, had not started here. So to be honest, I did not wake up and say I'll be an influencer. I wanted to be a digital magazine covering fashion, covering lifestyle, helping people engage with luxury, get them closer. We didn't even have so many brands and malls that time in our country. There was only Emporio that time, guys. So it happened, and literally right within the first month, I started getting messages and DMs and emails saying how much for a post. And I have to tell you guys, this happened completely organically in my time. Times were different. It was a little bit easier then. It's a little harder now. I'll tell you all more about it. But that's when the entire shift happened. It was like the pivotal moment of my life where I realized, oh my God, I can get paid for a post. And I researched a little bit, and here's where I am. This is how the journey started.
So was there any specific post that, helped you reach a larger audience, that where you started gaining popularity, or was there a particular time frame which, you felt was actually the time that started working for you?
So one led to the next thing. Everything that came my way, it was so new. It's not like I could even walk up to my mother or my sister or anybody and ask them for advice on this business field, because everyone just knew of traditional ways. But one led to the next thing. One thing I'd say is, don't be afraid. Like, I literally took so many chances. I had a full-fledged career on the outside, and I stopped doing that because I realized how much scope was there in the social media place. And to be honest, my time was, it was a time when everything was just coming up. Malls were opening, stores were coming in. People were more and more interested in social media. Instagram was picking up, and also your posts were very easy to reach bigger views, not like now.
So I've noticed that many aspiring influencers and many brands, they struggle to generate the right kind of content, and many times they're also suffering by not giving the right quality of content. So can you drive us through your content creation process?
Of course. So for me, content creation, I have to say, guys, it is the most exciting part about the job that I do, because like every other business, this is also a business. I have employees, I have to deal with so many overheads, expenses, everything. It's a full-fledged business today, and all that gets very boring, including the sourcing, the returning, the dealing with the drama, and the brand briefs. They get hard. But the best part about what I do, and I'm really passionate about it, is the creative part. This is where all the juice happens. So we sit down, we conceptualize what the brand is firstly trying to ask from us, and then we kind of create mood boards. I have a team that helps me. We strategize. We also look at the time of the year. Like if I feel like Christmas is coming, Diwali is coming, it's winter season, you have to transform your content based on the environment. That is the most important thing. So it's very important to study the market, the audience, what they expect from you. It's also important to study what the brand wants from you. And create a mixed bag, then you go back to the brand and you present it. So like I said, this is a big journey. You guys, when you see the video, guys, it's only the tip of the iceberg. There's that whole mountain underneath that we worked behind the scenes. Then it comes to planning the shoot. Let me tell you, that is the hardest part because you have to bring on so many different partners. You have to bring on different things that you can do and then the edit. And this is how content creation really happens.
So you mentioned that, a lot of time goes on behind conceptualizing and, planning the content before you actually see it. So when you're conceptualizing, what do you think is the right balance between, having something that's engaging, having educational as well as something like a promotional thing? What do you think for any brand or an individual? What is the right balance in the content?
So what really works is unfiltered right now, and I'm going to just get to the point. What really works if you want your content to perform is, if you make it look like an ad, it's not going to work. But I wish brands understood that, guys. So the hard part, which might come up in any of your questions, is the brand briefs, because the briefs that come in is actually what slows down that process for us. But to be honest, if you ask me what really works, the trends work, the cool songs work. Staying in touch with what the audience wants works. So you have to keep reinventing and staying true to yourself.
And also, like you said that, trends are something that is important. But I've noticed that, with a lot of brands, although they are promoting, they're running a lot of ads, they're generating periodic content, but still they suffer to, generate more organic audience. Their reach is not increasing in a more effective way. So what do you think is the best strategy for any brand that is into luxury lifestyle? What kind of content should they create to engage their followers?
So this is for a brand. So I'm going to talk about something completely different what she spoke about, because of course as a brand, I'll tell you one thing is very important is your page is like your website. Today when I tag a brand, and there have been times when my followers have come and told me, are you sure you're tagging the right brand? Because sometimes the brand has nothing available. So please be present. That is point number one. And be beautifully, visually, aesthetically present, especially if you're luxury, you're in, even not luxury, if you're consumer brand selling saris, jewelry, anything that you do, make sure you're visually really aesthetic. Because when someone's coming to your page, they're coming there for information. Please don't make them waste their time. I want them to scroll and see your entire lookbook. They should scroll and see your brand story. But now I'm going to come to another point, which is a new angle. And I've seen a lot of success stories that if you're a brand, that you can bring the founder or the founder team to get involved in content creation, then there's nothing like it. This whole shift actually took about a year or two ago, where a lot of entrepreneurs who started businesses, they started talking about their journey. And I'm sure you guys have seen a little bit of that now happening, where founder-led content can help you engage with your audience in different levels. Tell them your strengths, tell them your faults, tell them your failures, tell them all the vulnerability things that happen to you as a brand owner, tell them that. And that's how you'll engage. And sometimes you might feel like, as a founder, should I put that on my brand page? Like I'm selling fashion, should I put all of those stories up on my brand page? Maybe not, then start your own founder page. But this is something I wanted to bring about because I feel like some brands have really captured the audience doing this. So this is a great way to go about it.
And, very often I've heard advice that, probably between 10 to 11 or 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., it's the right time to post. So do you believe that that's true, or does that really work?
Time works, but study your time as per your page. So till early this year, for years I thought morning worked for me, and I've realized now evening and night works for me. So you just start, somebody once, very wise person once told me, start tricking your Instagram algorithm. surprise it, do different things every day, and then see what's working for you. And I think maybe you guys can also try that, because I tried that at the start of this year, and it's kind of worked.
And do you normally prefer, what is the right balance between, posting reels or posting static content, whereas having the frequency of stories that you should be putting?
Okay, so influencers and brands is a completely different space. Influencers need to speak a lot more, because at the end of the day, you're a magazine and you're talking about fashion today, beauty tomorrow, your life today. I'm in Ahmedabad today, tomorrow I'm in Paris. I'm talking about 100 million things. So for me, bombarding you with information might work for me. But as a brand owner, maybe don't over-clutter. So like I again will go back to the point where visual aesthetic matters. If you're playing with your grid, then the statistics say 3 to 4 reels a week, 3 statics, a few carousel posts also are needed, because that really helps you. The carousel posts actually help you a lot. And these, these statistics are available on Mr. Adam Mosseri's page. He's one of the promoters of Instagram. Please follow him inside out, because what he's sharing is true. So I can share this page with you all later. It's like an official page, and he's the founder and the voice of Instagram, basically.
No, I think like you mentioned the frequency, it makes us realize, there's a lot of work that goes behind it. And probably if all of us, we want to work on building our audience, we really need to start working harder on putting up posts, creating the right content. I have one personal question as well, a couple of personal questions actually. So normally most influencers, they have their page by their personal name. But you have, your page is mostly promoted by the name, the image code. So why the image code? Is there a brand story behind it?
So when I started off, I don't know if everyone followed me from back then, but I also had a partner on the page. So that was not the reason. It was always called the image code because I was that digital magazine in my head. When I started off and that shift happened where everybody told me that I should change my name to my name, honestly, I was torn and I wanted to do it so badly, but I asked a lot of brands, agencies and experts and they said, you're quite well known as this, so now don't go back. So maybe for me, the step happened a lot later, but if I or you would start something today, use your name, please, because that is what identifies you and it's very important.
And also, you've worked with a lot of international brands. So is there any particular endorsement or any brand collaboration that you are very proud of?
So many, guys. I mean, there have been everything that happened over the past 8 years has been milestones for me, to be able to walk into offices where I did my luxury marketing and management. So I was a student in France looking for jobs, going helter-skelter from Avenue Montaigne to Champs-Élysées to all the brand stores and trying to get different behind-the-scene jobs. I never got anything as an Indian non-French speaking person. Later, I walked in as an influencer to all these brands. So guys, I mean, everything has been like milestones. I've walked into head offices of GUJC, I've been to head offices of Dior, I've had the pleasure and the opportunities and made the most of them by representing India at both Paris and Milan Fashion Week. So it's been amazing. It's of course been a lot of work, but it's been driven by passion, so it doesn't even feel like work.
Recently, there has been a lot of debate on, the social responsibilities that influencers hold when they're promoting a brand. So what is your take on that? How important is authenticity when you're promoting a product? And also, how do you select what brands you want to promote? Because I read somewhere that, when you were starting, you'd gotten offers from a lot of food brands as well, different places. But of course, you were selective about what brands you picked because you wanted to create a niche for yourself in luxury lifestyle. So what is your take on that?
So when I started off, for me, it was always about the space I wanted to belong in, and this is obviously advice to people who also are venturing out in social media, is, for me, quality mattered always. So whether I would not post for 2 days, but wait on the third day to give out something beautiful and visual was my goal in life. But I'll be honest, Instagram probably doesn't like this. Instagram wants you to post unfiltered something every day. So this is where I get torn. But over time, doing this for 8-9 years today, I've understood that this is who I want to be, because the quality of brands that I work with, I do not want to clutter my page. At the same time, there's this sort of loyalty that I have on both sides, audience and brands, and authenticity plays a very important role there, because everyone can see through it that you're promoting something just for the sake of it, and you can't do that. At times, briefs come our way where things look promoted, but I'm not going to lie, I still believe in that product, that's why it's on my page. But there have been things that have come, my hair had gotten colored in another color once, I have completely cancelled that collaboration, also spoiled my hair. There have been many occasions where I have returned, finished the shoot, spent the money on it, but returned the products back and said, I'm sorry, I cannot promote you. Or fashion brands that did not fit like they should, because I don't want my followers to buy something looking at me and also feel the same way, because they'll lose trust. And the worst thing a brand owner or anyone in the world can do is to lose trust. So I completely believe in it.
And do you believe, of course, people do debate that aesthetics are very important when you're looking at Instagram, because that attracts you to a post. So do you believe aesthetics are more important, or do you think it's trust that plays a more important role while engaging somebody onto your page?
So I'll tell you a little example. So every 2 or 3 months, when things are a little bit lighter at work, especially the season is over, we're gearing up for something else, we do a series of supporting brands. So this recent series that happened, I want to tell you all, I got tons of clothes in my house and they were lovely outfits and I had to shoot them, where I'm wholly solely just supporting homegrown brands, and this is not any sort of collaboration. I do this sometimes and I announce it. They were beautiful, I put it out there, but the minute I tag them, my followers send me messages saying, are you tagging the wrong brand? Is there something wrong with this page? Why can't I find this dress on that page? Or this collection looks completely different than what you're wearing. So I think that probably answers things to you all, that if your page is a clutter, or if your page is not communicating something correctly, then you're going to lose the consumer, because they have literally 2 seconds and they move to the next page. So it's so important to capture them the way you like it, the way you want it to be, but keep it clean. Keep it like visually aesthetic in some way. I'm not saying over stress on it, don't overdo it, but it's important to look nice on Instagram.
And we've noticed that, of course, post-COVID, there has been a drastic shift in how people are using Instagram, and a lot of, it's been used for e-commerce, a lot of different things. The trends have changed. So how do you see Instagram and the usage of Instagram in different industries evolving in the last 5 years, and what changes do you see happening in the next 5 years?
So much changed, guys. When I started off before COVID, I used to put up only wow content that was shot with like the works. And the page looked like it's come out of Vogue. And then while COVID, we started cooking and doing everything. I'm sure you all were all doing that also. So the page started looking like one clutter mess. And then when you come out of COVID, you want to find the balance. But like I said, the algorithm wants a mix. The algorithm today wants unfiltered content. So it's very important to also create unfiltered organic content. But my photographer was just giving me some tips to do it with good light. Make it look visually aesthetic, and then it'll all work. Make sure that it's in sync with what your page is trying to say, whether you're a brand owner, whether you're a founder, or whether you're an influencer.
And do you believe Instagram, we've had a lot of debates in our friends group that, Instagram might be important for fashion or for lifestyle, but whereas for some other industries, it's not necessarily as important. So having a digital presence sometimes does not matter as much to them. So what is your take on that? Do you think it matters equally for all industries, and to what extent should brands who are in, probably in trading or some kind of manufacturing, to what extent should they invest in their digital presence?
So of course you have to understand where your industry lies, but the one thing that I've understood is that every industry today exists on Instagram is because people have stopped going on Google. They just like to go on Instagram today to even check a hotel or check a restaurant or something as basic as, of course, fashion, jewelry, there's no question. Please invest a lot there. But whoever you are, exist on Instagram in some way or the other. If you're in finance, then use Instagram to tell people your story. Be like a founder who talks about financial tips for people. That's very interesting. So make make it like your tool. Like what works for you, you can do that.
And I think we have a lot of people in the audience who are, either already influencers in Ahmedabad, and a lot of people aspire to be influencers in the future. So what advice would you have for them? What can they do to grow to a national level?
So firstly, the industry's changed a lot. It's not as easy as it is. In fact, the entire pandemic brought about a whole new set of content creators, which maybe some of them also, where even we were taken aback, and it's a competitive space, not going to lie, but just stay true to yourself, find your niche, do some quality work, and you will get noticed. And don't be afraid to take chances, do partnerships, come on board with somebody, collaborate with somebody or a publication or fashion. How many fashion brands, guys, I've done favors for? I constantly keep doing favors for these guys. I mean, to be honest, luxury brands, we keep doing favors for. Why? Because they add credibility to my page. So do things that will make you stand out, and then you'll get noticed. And also at times, don't be afraid to reach out to PR companies. Tell them that this is who I am. I would love to promote your products. It all starts with the favors and soon turns into some sort of a business venture.
So as you mentioned, creating a relationship with brands, but I think a lot of people feel that being in Ahmedabad, we have certain limitations. Whereas, being in a larger city like Mumbai or Delhi, it is easier to reach larger brands. So how do you feel, we can bridge that gap? How can people approach these national or international brands being in a relatively less prominent city?
So, Estee Lauder's office once told me, and I'm sharing this with y'all, is everyone is doing content in English. No one is talking about regional languages. It is the new game. Create some regional language content. Estee Lauder will reach you yourself. Because even they want to be sold in Gujarat, no? So why not? This is just a tip I'm sharing. I was told this 4 years ago. I still don't come across regional content, but I know it will hit India in a big way.
That's actually very interesting.
And honestly, I think there's so many beautiful fashion, jewelry, brands, etc. that come from Gujarat. I mean, every industry. I met some great people today who told me about their frames, their perfumes. So there's so much y'all can do with the brands y'all have in your own city, Maybe get them to be noticed at a national level.
True, agreed. I think that's a little inspiring for us. I think we also want to open it to the audience.
Sure.
We want to, hear from a lot of people who would have questions. So we'd like to take a few questions from the audience as well.
Hi, hello everyone. So actually I wanted to ask a question. My name is Pooja. So we just talk about Instagram when it comes to social media. So do you think Instagram is just too much now, or do you think that something else is about to come? Like when we started Facebook, right? That's when we started recognizing Instagram a little bit, right? So now what next after Instagram? We should know about so that we can start early promoting our brands or businesses or ourselves. So do you have anything that you can,
I wanted to bring this up actually. Don't ignore YouTube. I'm ignoring YouTube, please. I think today is going to be a learning lesson for me also, but do not ignore YouTube. If you do have the bandwidth to create storytelling, vlog style videos, get onto YouTube, because YouTube, darling, pays you, not like Instagram does. So once you're a YouTuber, you're huge. So do not underestimate the power of YouTube. So many theories say one day Instagram won't exist, this will happen. Of course, it's very important to venture out, have more than a few digital platforms, like I say. Sometimes I get overwhelmed with how much work I have to do, so I'm not managing. I exist on YouTube, but I'm not big enough there. But this is something I'm so glad you brought it up, so thank you.
Hi, actually I work as a marketing agent. I myself have a marketing agency, and my majorly all clients are basically jewelry based clients.
All right.
And I have signed signed up with a lot of influencers. So now what happens is that, when you look at their page, oh, they have a million followers, big number of followers, but actually after the shoot, the reach never increases. It never goes up. It is like then we find out that, oh, this was all fake. No organic followers or less organic followers. So is there any particular strategy that you will suggest that we should look on the influencers page to find out if this will actually bring reach or, audience, or, how to actually find out that the influencers are perfect or where we should work with?
So these are the people who are judging me also. So in a way, guys, I know there are some great analytical tools that you get that you can study. Get specific on it. Yes, today you cannot see through anybody's numbers. It's getting complicated. I have overheard and heard all of this. I feel like there are some people who are credible. Also, one post is not going to change your life. Please tell your brands that. It's an ongoing process. And I know sometimes it gets expensive to do that one thing, but there could be many aspects to it. Timing, trends, song chosen, quality of content created. There could be so many aspects to it. Another thing that I have noticed currently that's happening with bigger brands now is brands are now asking us for digital rights, where they run ads using our content. Maybe that could be something you could think about also, where digital rights is something where somebody creates the content for you and you run it as ads. That works well. Of course, now they are talking jewelry. I'm assuming it's real jewelry, precious jewelry. So, of course, it's nice for jewelry brands to be out there, but a jewelry brand will not instantly see a sale. It's not fashion, where I know when I put up a fashion dress, the brand instantly, because it's 3K, 5K, 15K, you instantly see a sale. The jewelry brand might convert over time. So jewelry brands need to do it more in a storytelling way, slowly, throughout some things every month. Kind of do reminder things. So, of course, you have to wait and see who the brand is. That's what I would say.
Hi, Tina. Welcome to Ahmedabad. It was amazing to hear you.
Thank you.
My question is, I want to know the difference between models and influencer these days. Okay. As you said, 9 years back, it was more about models. If I'm making my own page in Instagram about clothing, whom should I call? For influencers or models for the photography? Because nowadays we see influencers on ramp walk, but it is very difficult for models to be, announced as an influencer. So what is the difference? How do we, get to know that?
So they're different because influencers come with a voice. It's like what I wear, I have an opinion, I will describe it, I will tell my audience. They have a relationship with me. I'm like one of their friend plus family member who's telling them where to buy, what to shop, what was new, what launched. So you understand where both are required in a certain way. What a model does is, of course, when you hire a model, I style lookbooks. So people say, bring your influencer friends. I said, Baba, they're not going to wear 40 looks a day or 20 looks a day. So you're creating a lookbook, you need a model, because models are professional at that and they will give you what you need. An influencer is not going to wear so many looks for you, but like I'm not going to compare it to an endorsement. You know how you bring a brand ambassador sort of on board? That's where the influencers have come now, and we are literally much lesser than a celebrity, but they give you that reach, that voice, that connectivity. And yes, there are opportunities, influencers. We've all been invited to walk the ramp for brands. They do those one or twos because they know that what happens, they come with support. They come with stardom. Influencers are known for creating the most beautiful reels. The model will not do it herself, right? If you today ask me to attend a certain show for you, I will cover it in a way that even you might not be able to cover it. So, and make it reach a certain way. So, both are required. It's just a new avenue that's opened that allows you to connect with your audience much faster. And for fashion, I think it's a no-brainer. I mean, it's worked for every fashion brand. So it's definitely important for fashion.
Thank you so much.
Hi, Tina.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm Vinny Contractor and I'm a micro-influencer. So I have recently heard about this UGC, like user-generated content these days, because there's a taboo or a stereotype that if an influencer is promoting something, it is either gifted or it's an advertisement at the end of the day. So people like the hotels, the restaurants are like more interested in the user-generated content these days. So do you think the influencer or marketing is going to come to an end? Because I'm still very new in this whole journey, and that got me really skeptical, and I'm a little worried that way. So I just wanted to know your opinion towards the same.
Post? I forgot his name. He puts out this daily. Even I get that video bombarding on my page.
Correct.
So there can be so much said and done. Why are you letting it bother you? If you have enough work happening every day, just go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, so just push yourself. And the best part about what we do is we can never be out of work because there's always some new thing to talk about. So, I mean, it's also a bad part because we can never be out of work. Like, there's always something you have to shoot, right? You're on vacation, you're shooting. You're here, you're creating content. Like, you're never really off. So, but then it becomes a part of your life. And try it your way. Maybe it takes you to another side of the world. You never know. You could become a fashion brand owner. You could become an investor. But you have a platform, you can do it all.
Okay, thank you so much.
Chant here. My question is very basic, that considering the online marketing, digital marketing, so for example on the Instagram, one is that you can go for influencer marketing, like what influencers are doing, right? On the other hand, if I ask you that I make a simple graphic and promote it by monetary values, what gives me better reach? Like influencers, I'm not really sure if they have organic followers or not. Whereas if I have a simple graphic and I'm paying Instagram to promote that, I have better options like in which area I want to promote, which age group I want to give, etc., etc.
Yes.
So what is the better according to you?
Okay, so I spoke to somebody in the audience about this before. So a graphic might not do the job, but if that product worn on a person can be shot on a model, somebody brought up models, an influencer again, used as an ad will definitely convert better for you because what people are looking for is personal touch. Today a graphic will not sell according to me as well as that same shoe, bag somebody carried. Now if that person is little famous, it'll do even more. So that's where the influencer comes into play. And very famous, like a celebrity, then it'll do very well for you. So like, again, coming back to it, it now depends on your brand strategy and budgets. But definitely rather use a person than just a graphic if you're running an ad because you're investing money in it. Secondly, if you can do it with an influencer, then do on-off campaigns and see what works for you. And the best part is use that influencer's content and run ads on that and then see the magic. So you got the, you know what I mean? It's one step leading to the next.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. Great insights on Instagram and great insights on the whole industry. My question to you is that you said to make sure that you're getting the engagement, you need to follow the trend that is going on, right? In that purpose, sometimes brand, they are not getting what exactly they need to follow and they follow the wrong trend because of that, which may be negative for the brand because if some comedy is going on, for example, and because it is getting the engagement, so they use it in the whole thing, and that might be negative. So is that a right way, or a brand should actually come up with their own trends?
So coming up with your own trends is the hard part, but the trend could be, if it doesn't match you and it's not your style, please don't, because even I did not ever dance, and everybody danced. But I never danced, guys, because it's not my, and I'm a great dancer, but that kind of dancing is not my vibe because I knew dancing would hit me million views, but it's not my thing. I always had this fashion face up, so how can I suddenly start dancing? Like, it's so against my page. So please first see where your niche or your thing lies. Trends help you here and there to jump your content. Like once in a while, I know when I'll tell you all now a secret. When once in a while I feel like my engagement is dropping, and this happens even for someone like me who posts so much, I literally live for Instagram now, right? Or social media, I shoot all the time. I still have days where it's falling. Then I just know the short things that are going to instantly give me that spike. So you will also know yours. You need to do, it could be unfiltered content, it could be something cute, It could be, I don't know, couple content, couple works for me. So it works for every influencer basically. So here, there, somewhere, influencer this is. Of course, as a brand owner, you can't suddenly just put up the couple, but you have to see what matches you. As a brand owner, that one collaboration you did or that one endorsement you did always does well for you. So milk it, use it time and again. And the engagement a brand sees and an influencer sees is completely two ball games. Brand wants to see sales. I need to see engagement because I sell on versus engagement. So focus on what's important for you. And again, I'll come back to that whole point. Visual aesthetic. Keep your page looking stunning. Run your ads when you all have to, if you all need to. But make sure your page is enough that it's little bit like your website. Like there's enough information out there that speaks about your product, good enough information.
Not just that influencer or unke level ke influencer in the budget. But so how to get them reach? Abhi humne emotional marketing that we all are doing for the brands that can be understandable. But now, what do we tell tier 2 clients that, how to get the reach and engagement that they want?
Oh, so you mean tier, by tier you mean what? Like quality, city?
Yeah. Yes, you got it right.
Okay, so different levels of brand, like premium brand, consumer
Yes.
brand.
Yes.
And budgets are now coming in way. Okay.
Yes.
So, I don't know, some maybe have like very strong studies and show that this could definitely add value for you, but find those micro, like, what, this whole trend that started where you get 2 or 3 big influencers, or you divide that money within many micro influencers, and again, USG people will come in here, where get lots and lots of people to do the same thing for that same budget.
Yes.
And that could add a different, value to that brand. Of course, now I don't know what the 2 brands are, but this also works a lot. Today, a lot of brands have stopped looking at the bigger influencers, and I'm not even counting myself as anyone as big, but micro, the ones with the 30K, 40K legit following and very strong voice, reach out to them. And sometimes what happens is they're also starting out, so they don't mind sometimes bending backwards.
Yeah.
Gujarat Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Grow business. Transform Gujarat.